Children's laughter filled the village square until it suddenly froze. 5-year-old Adana had been playing happily among her mates, clutching a tiny rag doll, when a strange heaviness wrapped itself around her. Her vision blurred. A sharp heat rushed to her head. Before anyone could understand what was happening, her head began to enlarge, pulsing, stretching, expanding, right in front of everyone. The children screamed. Some pointed mockingly at her. Others ran in fear. "Spirit child! Her head is growing again. She is not normal." Adana stood, trembling in the center of the playground, tears filling her eyes. She didn't understand why this kept happening. No one understood it, except one person hiding behind a smile. This strange swelling had started at age 1, and by age 5, her head no longer shrank back after each episode. It remained large, heavy, unforgettable. Yet, the glory inside her was even larger. A glory someone tried to bury before she was even born. The day Daniel and Ngozi married felt like a festival reborn. Drums rolled, villagers danced, elders blessed them with joy. Among everyone who celebrated them, one person stood out, Mama Ezinne. She wasn't their mother, but her kindness made her feel like one. She brought plantain from her farm, fresh vegetables, tubers of yam, and herbal mixtures. Daniel and Ngozi trusted her so deeply that they started calling her Mama. And when Ngozi became pregnant, Mama Ezinne rejoiced more than anyone. She brought herbs, cooked meals, massaged her back, checked on her day and night. And then, the strange visions began. Every time Mama looked at Ngozi's belly, she saw a golden glowing light inside. At first, she ignored it. But as the belly grew, the light glowed brighter and stronger, impossible to overlook. Curiosity slowly turned into fear. Fear quietly turned into jealousy. Unable to sleep, Mama went to a powerful herbalist for consultation. After long chants, he looked into his calabash and spoke sharply. "The child in that womb carries greatness beyond this land. A child who will rise. A child who will lift the parents from grass to grace." That was the moment Mama's heart turned dark. The kindness that once flowed naturally began to twist. Bitterness took over her. She returned to the couple smiling, but her heart had already turned dark. She tried everything her wicked mind knew. She rubbed charms into her palms and pretended to rub Ngozi's tummy with care. She sprinkled powder into the herbs and claimed they would strengthen the baby. She whispered silent curses while massaging her waist. But every attempt failed. The golden light only grew stronger. On the day of delivery, Ngozi screamed in pain inside a midwife's house while Daniel held her hands, telling her to be strong. After hours in pain, God gave them a beautiful baby girl. The midwives cut the placenta, put it into a black nylon bag and handed it to Daniel to bury. But Daniel, overwhelmed and excited, stepped outside and found Mama Ezinne waiting. "Give it to me, son," she said gently. "Go and care for your wife. I will bury it well." Without thinking twice, Daniel handed the bag to her. Mama smiled and walked away with victory in her eyes. The naming ceremony was big. People danced and celebrated the newborn. The baby grew normally for months. Then one afternoon, while playing happily beside her mother, her head suddenly stretched and grew large, then shrank back again. Ngozi screamed. Daniel panicked. They didn't understand what happened. By her first birthday, it was 3 times the size of a normal head. Children ran from her. People whispered. But Mama Ezinne pretended to pity her more than everyone. At age 2, it happened again. At age 3, it became more frequent, each time larger than before. At 4, children stopped playing with her. At 5, her head no longer returned to normal. It stayed big, heavy, and painful to carry. Children ran when she tried to play. Some called her names. Some pointed at her. Others mocked her. She had no friend. Sometimes she drooled. She struggled to speak clearly. and her movement was slow. But even in her pain, one thing stood out. She had a connection with God. When left alone, she sang praises softly, lifting her heavy head gently upward. She prayed in her childlike voice. She talked to God like He was sitting beside her. She read her little Bible every day. Daniel and Ngozi, seeing their child's condition, became prayer warriors themselves. They read Bible daily and sought God in tears. When Hadana turned 10, the local church announced the Grand Bible Quiz, attended by missionaries from abroad, for children and adults. The entire church was full. People stood by windows. Even unbelievers came to watch. When the children marched forward, some workers tried to stop Adana. She cannot talk well. She will embarrass us. She should stay back. But the missionaries insisted, let the little ones come. And that moment changed everything. Adana answered questions other children failed. She quoted scriptures with clarity. During the adult section, even pastors struggled, but Adana answered perfectly, slowly but accurately. The church froze in shock. She won the competition. The missionaries awarded her gift, a scholarship, and promised to sponsor her an appearance abroad. People rejoiced except Mama Izinne. The very glory she fought was rising. Before the missionaries left, they organized a village prayer crusade. As they prayed, the power of God swept through the village. Inside her house, Mama Izinne began trembling. Her head shook, her legs weakened. Then, she screamed and ran through the village. Her wrapper half falling, hair scattered, shouting, "Stop! Let me confess!" At the village square, she fell to her knees and exposed everything. How she took the placenta, how she buried it at the herbalist shrine, how she tried to kill the child's glory from the womb. The village trembled. Daniel fell to the ground. Ngozi cried uncontrollably. And then, judgment struck. Mama's head began to swell, bigger, larger, massive, until it became 7 times the size of Adana's head. And right in front of everyone, Adana's oversized head started shrinking slowly, returning to its normal shape, until she became beautiful and normal. Complete healing didn't come immediately. God left a little sign, a reminder of what carelessness can cause. But as years went by, with prayer and growth, she blossomed into a stunning young lady, rooted in the Word of God, full of grace and light. She moved abroad with her parents through her scholarship and excelled. She became a blessing, not just to her parents, but to nations. Her light could not be stopped, and everyone finally understood. What God has blessed, no hand of jealousy can destroy. In life, not every smiling face is a safe place. Not every helping hand is from God. Destinies must be guided carefully, because carelessness with spiritual matters can open doors that take years to close. Jealousy may delay a glorious child, but it cannot destroy what God Himself has ordained. Hidden enemies are always exposed in God's timing, and every battle, no matter how strange, bows to the power of prayer. When God shines His light on a person, no charm, no wicked plot, and no darkness can stop that glory from rising. Dear viewers, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment down below what you think Mama Izine truly deserves.